Women's World Cup this coming Thursday, the 20th of July. Australia, the host nation, joint host nation, playing Ireland, Republic of Ireland. The first game, it's in Stadium Australia in Sydney. I believe there's an 80,000 capacity crowd with the opening match. Now it says here it's 8:00 p.m. Australian time this Thursday, but I believe that's clarified. That is 11 o'clock in the morning this Thursday, the 20th. Just to clarify that, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just your thoughts now on this opening game. 80,000 crowd. Australia at home to Republic of Ireland. Ireland's first. Republic of Ireland's first ever event in a World Cup. So just your opening comments on that.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic, Paul. They've earned this. It's been a long time coming for an Irish Republic of Ireland women's team. You know, they've had so many heartbreaks in qualifying over the years, but very proud got there, and what a game to open it up, Paul. I mean, there are 80,000 people away to Australia. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. I mean, it's going to be a fantastic occasion. I just hope the team are used to playing in front of maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people. This is going to be a massive step up now in front of 80,000 people. Now, I know obviously some of these Irish players have played in England, they played in, I know a few might have played in FA Cup finals, but this is international game. This is all of them together. So, you know, Kate McCabe, I'm sure, has played in Champions League games for Arsenal, and Louise Quinn, when she was Arsenal, she's played in some big games. But this is the biggest game of their careers by far. And I just hope the occasion doesn't get to them. I don't think it will, but they're up against a very good Australian team, and Sam Kerr, Chelsea striker, she's had a fantastic season. She's won the double again. She won the FA Cup and the league with Chelsea this season. She's one of the finest strikers around. So any mistake at the back, she's gonna punish them. So they're really going to have to be on their guard. So on Thursday morning.
Yeah, and we were graphic there now. We have the head coach. Oh God, I won't try to pronounce his name. Tony Gustafsson. Now, I'm not sure it's the Australian. That sounds like a Norwegian or a Nordic name. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But you mentioned the captain there, Sam Kerr. You look at they're the current ranked number 10 team in the world, which is very strong. Also, they're at home. The host nation in these tournaments, the host nations invariably do well. And the one thing about Australia too, Noel, in any sport, the Australians, when they get to this international tournament, they're really prepared properly. They get everything organised right. There's nothing left for chance. They're fully prepared. The whole nation will get behind them as well. Australia is a great sporting continent, great sporting nation. Doesn't matter what sport it is, they really get behind them. Now, I know there will be big Irish in Sydney. There's a lot of Irish people in Sydney. I'm sure there'll be big Irish there, maybe more than other, but still, the Australians will be very well prepared. They will be very professional. They won't be taking anything for chance. This is a big tournament. They're at home. They're joint host with New Zealand. So they're going to be very hard to beat in this.
Oh, very, very hard to beat. I just hope that Ireland, with the occasion, I just hope we don't concede an early goal, because I know it's a little bit different, but on the friendly against France there, about less than 2 weeks ago, I remember we were really competitive in that friendly against France. Now, France will be ranking roughly around the same as Australia, maybe France a little bit higher than Australia. But I felt when the game was settled that we did quite well and we actually controlled the position. But once I think France got a lucky goal in that game, and I think once they upped the tempo of that game, they went 2-0 up in the 3 minutes of added time in the first half. And then the second half, they just completely took over. They could have scored a lot more goals. They scored another goal in the second half. I just hope that we're obviously going to be prepared very well. I just hope when I find that when better teams up the tempo a little bit against us, we struggle. And also the physical when it gets physical, I find that Ireland, I've seen a few of the games. Zambia we won the game 3-2, but I felt that physically we couldn't really match them, particularly in a lot of the challenges. I know obviously there was a game against Colombia behind closed doors. Colombia were very physical with us, and the game had to be abandoned. So I do find that with a lot of the Irish team, they're very good, skillful. But we're not probably the best at keeping the ball. But I feel we're a bit light, and I think if Australia got a bit physical with us, we mightn't be able to cope with it. So I think we're going to have to defend very well. I think what I find was the Australian crowd, obviously you said yourself there's going to be a lot of Irish there, but I always find for the first 20 minutes, don't give Australia a sniff. Don't give them anything to get right behind them, because obviously they're going to be a great atmosphere there. I think it's the first time Australia hosted the World Cup as well. So they're going to be right behind them. And I think in these big games, don't give them anything easy, because if you give any encouragement to Australia, they will take it. Sam Kerr's deadly, as I said. She's one of the best strikers around in football. She plays in England, Chelsea. I think in the FA Cup final, I don't think she played very well, but she got one big chance and she took it. So we're going to have to be on guard completely now on Thursday morning. I'm hoping, but I have a bit of a fear in this game, to be honest with you, Paul. I think if Australia up the tempo like France did there in a couple of weeks friendly, we mightn't be able to live with them. But I'm hopeful, but I am worried.
Yeah, now here, look at that. You can see the graphic there, the record. Australia have appeared in 8 World Cup finals in this women's soccer, and their best finish, they got to quarterfinals on 3 occasions: 2007, 2011, and 2015. So they have an experienced record, and I know the Australian players play at home, but a number of them play in Europe, and you just said a number of them play in England. So they will know the Irish players, and the Irish players will know them as well. So they're not complete unknowns. Yeah. Like if all the players were playing in Australia, even though you can get video at the same time, so the Irish players will know about them now, and obviously vice versa. But they've got to quarterfinals. Like they will be definitely targeting to get out of this group and probably win this group. But so again, but again, I suppose, look, when you qualify for these tournaments, Ireland were unseeded in the draw for this tournament. I believe Australia and Canada were seeded in this group. But end of the day, this is what you get. When you qualify, you're going to come against the big boys. So this is what you're always looking for. So you have to, can you stand up to it? Can you step up to it? But that's always the question mark.
Well, that's what it is, Paul. When you get to World Cup, you want to do yourself justice. I mean, this team are doing fantastically well to get to the World Cup. I mean, they've had so much heartbreak, as I said before. They should have qualified for the European Championships. They didn't. But I think even Katie McCabe says we're going to qualify for the World Cup. Now, she didn't put it like that. She was a bit more explicit now when she said in the interview after the Ukrainian game that they lost 1-0, and obviously they lost the game against Germany, and that put the European Championships to bed. But they've through so much heartache, there's been a lot of times where they mightn't have performed as well as they can. So I really hope now that they will put their best foot forward now in this. I think the first game, I suppose for a lot of girls, this is like their Italian 90 moment, because Irish football, they've only got to 3 World Cups in the main. This is the first World Cup for women. I think it is the first World Cup men or women since 2002. So this is going to be a great occasion. It's going to be massive, and I just hope that the best foot forward, that they enjoy the occasion as well, but don't get overhauled by it. And I think with Australia, as you said yourself, when you play the big teams, you have to perform, and I really do hope we do. I just home advantage, the 80,000. I just think Australia might just enough. No, I think a draw would be a fantastic result for us. Don't get me wrong. I just feel Australia might just have enough. With Sam Kerr's the difference is going to be the difference, I feel.
Yeah, now you're talking about injuries. The Irish captain, Katie McCabe, she got a bit of an injury before she left home in the friendly or in the final game against France, the warm-up game just before and she went off. Now, there's nothing about it in the media that, well, I haven't seen it anyway, which is a good sign. There's an old phrase, no news is good news. But we just hope she's okay. And obviously there was a behind closed doors kind of a warm-up game there against Colombia. One of the players got injured. Is it Denise O'Sullivan? Am I correct in that?
Denise O'Sullivan, she's in light training at the moment,
Yeah, and she went off to the hospital for a bit. There was a concern. The game was actually abandoned, so there must be more stuff going on too. There was a small clip put up on social media, which is very hard to see it, but there must be more stuff going on as well, that the game was suddenly abandoned after 15, 20 minutes. So maybe they were concerned. But look, you can get injured at training too, so I just hope there's no that they'll have their full squad. But look, that's what you have a Panda 23 for. But if she was missing and the kid McCabe wasn't at full power, it would be a big drawback. But I haven't heard anything about that in the social media. Normally, someone would leak the story if it was bad news. I'm going that she's fully fit, because, as the saying goes, if she was out or there was some doubt, there'd be probably someone talking about it.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Paul. I haven't seen on Katie McCabe. I haven't seen anything about her being not fully fit for the match. Now, I hope she will. I think she needed a bit of rest, and I think she landed her awkward on her ankle or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm up in the correction on that. But and she was taking off precaution. But I haven't seen anything about her being any doubt for the game or anything like that at the moment. Hopefully, touch wood, we won't get any bad news coming up to the game. Denise O'Sullivan is. I just hope Denise O'Sullivan is right before she gets onto the pitch. Obviously, we all do. But I feel that if Denise started and after like 10, 15 minutes she had to come off, I think that would, I wouldn't say it drain the confidence of the team, but she is a big time player for us. We need Katie McCabe and Denise O'Sullivan fully fit and pretty much at the races. We need Katie McCabe as our captain. She's down the left wing. she sets up a lot of attacks. She scores a lot of goals. I think she's a penalty taker as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we really do need them two women at the peak of their powers, and probably not going to be with Denise O'Sullivan, but I'd be more hopeful with Kate. So we do need them. We probably need them to play for the full 90, if not maybe 80 minutes at least if one gets tired. But we definitely need two from the pitch and Paul at the start. And I think if we're to score any goal at all, it's going to come from either a goal from them or an assist from them. Because if you remember the World Cup goal, they got us to the World Cup qualifier goal, they got us to the World Cup. It was a great ball from Denise O'Sullivan to put and Barrett through. So creativity, they're the two best players we have at the moment, and I think it would be a shame if one of them were missing. But sadly, that's top level sport. Injuries happen, and we just have to get on with it if one of them aren't fit.
Yeah, and I suppose